Stephen is one of the first steamies ever built, and one of the oldest engines. He works hard at Ulfstead Castle, showing people around the estate, and bringing scones and cream for the afternoon teas. Stephen has been around for a long time. He may be slow as a snail, but there's one thing that has never happened to him, and that's being bullied. One calm morning, Stephen was just chilling out when a devious diesel shunter by the name of Diesel arrived with some bricks for the castle. Both engines were quick to notice each other. I remember you. You're the old-fashioned engine with the wooden boiler. And I remember you. You're Mr. Oily. My name is actually called Diesel, not Mr. Oily. So, this is your job, eh? Yes, it is. I see. And after shunting the truck into siding and starting his journey away from the castle, Diesel started plotting a troublesome plan. That night, when Stephen was asleep, a pitch-black object came oiling towards him, and something got out to help him with his plan. The next morning, when Stephen woke up and looked back, he was horrified that he was not attached to his tender. The Earl of Surrey sent James to push Stephen to his tender. I'm ever so surprised how this happened, Stephen. What a mystery this was. I had to help with. And he puffed away. Once he was rejoined to his tender and had a good fire going, Stephen set off to pick up the scones and cream. A good afternoon tea express might help. But at the castle junction, some trucks had been derailed by Diesel, who was laughing his buffers as Look who is stuck. Stephen was very cross. Move these trucks at once. Now. No. I'm gonna make you late. Also, if you tell me what I've done, I will kidnap you and take you to the scrapyard and end your life. Goodbye. And Diesel scurried away. Soon, the trucks were back on the rails, the points changed, and Stephen set off, but he was very late. When he arrived, the Earl was surprised. Stephen, why were you late? Stephen knew he had to tell the Earl what had happened, but he remembered what Diesel had said, so all he said was, some points had failed, and he puffed away. The next morning, Stephen was hoping nothing would go wrong as he delivered the scones and cream to Ulfstead Castle. But he was wrong. As he came to the junction before the castle junction, Diesel backed right into Stephen, and he came off the rails, and the truck stayed on the rails. Diesel backed down onto the afternoon tea express, laughing very loudly at Stephen. You should not be pulling things. You will always get in the way, unlike me. Leave the job to a Diesel like me, because we are revolutionary. Plus, stay there and cry like a little baba. I think you will because you're just a big softie. See you later, Wim. And he ran off laughing as he went. Stephen was so hurt, and secretly he did cry, just a little. Soon, another engine arrived with Rocky to put Stephen back on the rails. and then Thomas came to push Stephen back to Ulfstead Castle. As they travelled along, Thomas tried to ask Stephen how he came off the rails. How did you get derailed, Stephen? I was being bullied, Thomas. I will say who when we get back. Okay, I understand. It wasn't long before they came up the hill and arrived at Ulfstead Castle. The scones and cream were already there, with the Earl, who was very worried for Stephen. Stephen, what has been going on? Well, sir, someone named Diesel has been bullying me. And Diesel has been bullying you? Cried Thomas in a state of shock. Yes, and he said if I told anyone, he said he will kidnap me and take me to the scrapyard and to end my life. I see. Thomas, can you let Sir Topper know what has happened, please? Yes, sir, and Thomas hurried away. Later, James arrived to pick up the trucks and brake van for the scones and cream. This isn't like you to get bullied, Stephen. And of all the engines, it has to be Diesel. I know. I have been told by the other engines what he has done since the first day he arrived. Indeed, he called me Rusty Red Scrap Iron, Gordon Galloping Sausage, and Henry Old Square Wheels, and made lies that Duck said them to get him sent away. Oh dear, I know. Then, Thomas arrived at the Fat Controller on board. What's going to happen to Diesel? I don't know, but I'm sure he's going to be dealt with. I hope so. Then they heard Percy's whistle, who raced in. What's wrong, Percy? It's Diesel. He's at Ulfstead Mine, hanging off the edge. What? He could have a very bad crash if no one helps him. Can you take us to him, Percy? Yes, follow me. And with that, all four raced off to the mine. Percy was right. Diesel was hanging off the edge, and he was very worried. Then, all four engines arrived. And right behind Diesel was Stephen. Why are you here, Diesel? I overheard Thomas telling the Fat Controller what I did to you. So, as he set it off to Ulfstead, I started to go after Thomas. But Percy saw me and chased me to stop me. But the points were set to here, and I went over the dead end, and then Percy raced up to get help. And now I'm stuck. Please help me. Please. Of course I will. But you are in big trouble on what you have done. But as Stephen coupled up to Diesel, the rails underneath him fell, and Diesel was half on and half off the edge. Cinders and ashes! Cried Thomas. Stephen held Diesel with all his might so he didn't fall. Someone must help Stephen get Diesel back onto the rails. No, we don't, Thomas. Look! All three engines watched in amazement as Stephen pulled Diesel back to safety. I did it! I did it! Stephen's face went as red as James's paintwork. Diesel could only give a sigh of relief. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. And Thomas, Percy and James blew their whistles. Well done, Stephen! They all cried. When they got back to the castle, Thomas and Percy went back to do their own jobs, and James took the trucks away. leaving the Earl and the Fat Controller alone with Stephen and Diesel. They were both very proud with Stephen. "Well done, Stephen, well done. You are a very brave and really useful engine." "Thank you, sir. Plus, Stephen, it takes a lot of effort to tell someone what is going on." "Yes, sir. Next time something bad happens to me, I will tell straight away." Then the Fat Controller turned to Diesel. "As for you, Diesel, I have been told that you have been bullying Stephen. He has proved that he is a really useful engine, and you owe him an apology." "Yes, sir. I'm sorry I bullied you, Stephen." "That's alright. For your punishment, Diesel, you'll stay at the Diesel Workshed until you are wanted." "Yes, sir." And he rattled away. The next day, things went back to normal for Stephen when he delivered the scones and cream to the castle and showed visitors around the estate. But mostly, he was never bullied ever again.